Hey everyone! In this video, I'll show you how to use Kinesio Tape or K-Tape to promote functional wrist movement. If you have trouble bending your wrist back, this one's for you. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Elise and I am an occupational therapist and a certified stroke rehab specialist on a mission to make stroke information simple. All right, let's get taping. Please note, don't use Kinesio tape over sites of active cancer, open wounds, a skin infection, or a deep vein thrombosis. Use caution if you have an allergy to adhesives, and talk with your doctor if you have any questions or concerns. For the Kinesio tape application, you'll need a good pair of scissors and a roll of Kinesio tape. So to start off, let's talk about where we're going to place our K-tape. The first anchoring point or for starting point is going to be right below the knuckles on your hand. The second is going to be on the outer edge of your elbow. And that's because that's where our wrist extensors insert. So we are going to open up our Kinesio tape, and I would suggest getting somebody to help you with this. I had a really tricky time doing this on myself, as you'll probably see throughout this video that it was a little difficult for me. So have somebody help you if you can. I was just showing you there, that's the grid pattern that is on the back of all Kinesio tape brands. And it just helps you get a good estimate of where you're going to be measuring out and cutting for the length of your K-tape. So I'm showing you how to get a good estimate for the amount of K-tape you'll need for this application. And that's the line that I'm going to cut on. I'm cutting just slightly shorter than what I'll need because I am going to be putting a bit of a stretch on this. So you don't want to measure exactly from point to point, otherwise it's going to be a little bit too long. So cut your K-tape to length. And then from there, you are going to take your scissors and round the corners of your pieces of Kinesio tape on both sides. And this is just so you don't get any corners or hard edges. Even though the tape is soft, you don't want it to bother your skin or irritate your skin. And sometimes those hard edges will peel up more easily than the rounded corners. So you can see it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, just do your best. So once you have both corners rounded, you're ready to start thinking about the actual application. So you're going to go about half an inch, quarter of an inch in and fold down the tape, and you're just going to rip the paper up. It's not going to rip the actual tape, just the paper, as you'll see here. And you're going to do that on both sides. We are creating our anchoring points here, which is going to allow us to put down the tape and start the tape application. So from here, we are going to put down our first anchoring point, which, as I mentioned before, is going to be right below the level of your knuckles on your affected side. And you're taking the paper backing off the first anchoring point. And you'll see I had a little bit of trouble with this trying to do it myself. So as I mentioned before, it can be helpful to have somebody else help you with this. That first anchoring point, we're just sticking down right below our knuckles and rubbing because the adhesive of the tape is activated with heat. So we're warming it up so that it will stick a little bit better. Now, we are ready to remove the rest of the paper backing from the main part. And this is where we are going to put a little bit of stretch on the tape. However, we want to make sure that when you're placing the anchoring point, the second anchoring point up by your elbow, your hand is bent back in wrist extension, meaning you're extending your wrist back so that you've got that little bridge between the tape and your arm. When you're ready to push the tape down, you're going to push your wrist into a bent position or flexion and then rub the tape down. And that's going to create that tension that's going to give your wrist that cue to lift up and back. So you've got the Kinesio tape on. What do we do now? You are going to get the best results with Kinesio tape by trying to engage in functional activities. And I'm showing you here trying to mimic like washing your hair. You can actually wear Kinesio tape in the shower. It just may come off more quickly if it gets wet. but washing your hair requires some degree of wrist extension. You can also work on household activities like vacuuming, um, wiping down counters, washing the dishes, putting the dishes away. The more that you can engage in everyday functional activities, the more you're going to also help to work on neuroplasticity. I'm showing you here, you can use the K-tape while you're brushing your teeth. Requires some degree of wrist extension to brush your teeth successfully. Use Kinesio tape to do things that you enjoy too. I have a small garden and I really enjoy it. It is important to remember Kinesio tape isn't a cure-all or a magic fix, but it can definitely help give your wrist a cue to bend back. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to get more content like this, and leave a like if you found this video helpful. I've got links in the description to each of the types of K-tape that I recommend, and I'm also leaving a link to my free ebook, The Stroke Recovery Pocket Guide, if you'd like a little more guidance on your recovery. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.